looks like we're live. Let me wait until I see Kovacs up. Alright, let's go. I do not have chat visible. Not that anyone's gonna drop by, but yeah, let me set up some like Spotify or whatever. I gotta turn off desktop audio for that. Oh, desktop audio is already off, so that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna have Spotify, get Discover Weekly going or something. I'm gonna be pretty bad at ape trading. I've been playing a lot less FPS in like April. I know it's the start of May already. I'm a few days late, but I'm gonna treat this as if we've been going since Monday or whatever, or Sunday or even. But yeah, the goal is to maybe get in like a session a day, maybe miss one max a week. If we got in let's say all of this week, and then maybe missed maybe 2 more or whatever for the rest of the month, that'd be like 25 out of 30 or so. I don't know. 30 out of 31 is impossible at this point, so 25 would be great. So yeah, that's my daily mix. That is not Discover Weekly, so I'm gonna play with that for just a second before I get started. Just get on the right playlist even. Yeah, so I've been having issues just playing games, let alone streaming. Something on my motherboard, like one of the display card or whatever, is like slightly fried. Oh Jesus, what happened here? Okay, so we'll just start with just benchmarks, and we'll do each of these for the 6 or whatever that we have here, and that might be our session. That might be it. Just getting going, not doing anything particularly impressive, not even necessarily aiming to hit our averages, just getting some time in, because I definitely haven't completely plateaued or anything, but it's going to get close. I don't know why this isn't starting though. So I've been playing a lot of Horizon in Apex, so that's been cool, but that's been mostly in arenas. And arenas is definitely still a slog. It was very easy to climb to about bronze 2 to like the lip of bronze 1, and then like some combination of just like not being composed, and also just like not being okay. Let me check what my tracking key is set to really quick. Right alt. Okay, yeah. So for tracking, I have something balanced that I don't have to click. For Sparky, I do have to click. But for the last two, I'll just hold the alt button and then move my mouse. Let me just double check that my sensitivity is still right. It should be 1.6. 400? What the fuck? Weird. Alright, well this is definitely 800. 110. 110 should be max in Apex. 144 max, that's set by my monitor. We're not getting 144 in Apex, not even close. Yep. Vertical and horizontal sensitivity the same. Alright, so this Sparky might be okay, I don't know. So my best score is 51. We're literally going to aim for like 30 this first round, maybe like 25. Just gonna try to chill. Already missing shots. So I heard some interesting advice that you need to focus less on where your cursor is and more where the center of the screen is, because you end up like tunnel visioned on like literally where the cursor is, so you end up unable to like anticipate movement. I think that's interesting. I've noticed that's true in like kind of like trivial tracking exercises where like I just need to watch something switch back and forth, where if I tunnel vision too hard on the cursor itself, I can't see the thing move. So just focusing a little bit less and focusing on where like the ball is relative to the edges of the room, because like these maps is a strong word. 30 something, 43. Okay, honestly that's better than I expected. I think average is probably like 45. average is 41. I guess I don't know how far back this average goes. 20 most recent. Yeah, well, so we're just gonna chill. Try to hit 40 again. But yeah, you basically like if something's switching back and forth too quickly, you end up too tunnel visioned, and like your perception of the thing moving is really bad because you're just watching the crosshair, which is not moving. So like you end up in this position where the movement of the thing you're tracking feels extra fast. I mean, it's just literally down to like the point on which your eye is focusing, not the actual movement itself, which is kind of fascinating. For something like this, I think the movement is sufficiently simple that like, except when they bounce off the walls or whatever, you actually are pretty much fine just following the cursor, I think. Maybe at a high level, I'll need to switch to doing what they said. And the recommendation they gave was to aim train with the cursor off, which I think is, like, I mean, I guess it's the obvious thing to do, but does seem kind of hardcore to me and kind of surprising. Oh, geez, I just missed everything for like an entire minute there. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if like maybe moving to a cursor that's the same color as like the background for a little while, or like just slightly off the background for a bit would help, or if that would make you too focused on it. It's hard to tell. I think I might have to play with it a little bit because jumping straight to no cursor feels like I would need to make a very large adjustment. And if I did it on an exercise like this where like I'm already not very good, like I'm average at best on a good day, I just don't imagine that it would be very enjoyable. I'm not sure that it would be productive. It might be. I'm just kind of skeptical of the idea. So I think if I tried that, I'd want to try it on like aim labs or something where I can get like a really easy exercise to kind of like level up with, and do that for like maybe a week or two, and then see what benefits it has. Because I think it's the kind of thing where like if you can get kind of like the fundamental skill down, then it's just kind of like a mode switching thing, and you don't have to like train like that all the time. That's my expectation, but we'll see. So this is actually pretty good so far. Like I said, I'm not going to push it. If we get in the 30s for a round, we're not going to freak out too much. But like 43, 45 is like a pretty good day for me. It's unfortunately going to push my averages up a little bit higher than I'd like them to be, like coming back into this, but that's fine. I would like to feel progression, so hopefully I'm actually somewhat better, and it's not just the fact that I slept for 9 hours today. Yeah, there we go. There we go, missing stuff. Drawing that average back down. Yeah, so I do still want to hit... So I did hit plat at the first split of this season. I'm in gold 4 right now because I don't care about Kings Canyon, and also just like too much going on to focus on Apex for this split too much. I did climb back to gold 4. Maybe I'll get up to like gold 2 or whatever, just to make it so that I don't drop down to bronze or whatever. There is a new newbie rank. See, like that's a really good round for me. Like I hit that like what, 1 in 5 or so. And like I've had days where I'm in the 30s, so like yeah, this is still really good. But yeah, I'm curious how season 13 ranked is gonna go. I did not take off the start of this split. I'll be in New York, so I'm not gonna have my desktop. So my setup's gonna be a little compromised. I should probably spend this weekend getting adjusted to my portable keyboard, because I don't want to carry the big heavy one that I'm like most adjusted to. And the portable one is better. Unfortunately, the switches on it are not as light as I should have bought. I'm an idiot. I did not realize the stress that literally just holding the arrow keys was putting on my hands, because it's a combination of the keys being a little bit heavy and me like not knowing what restraint is. But like I really messed up my elbows playing too much last split, which sounds insane, but when you take that into coordination with like rock climbing and doing a lot of pull-ups and stuff, like the stress on my elbows really did add up. Yeah, that could have easily been like a 50 round if I was just better, right? 56% accuracy is pretty bad, but you know, if that had been, you know, even just like 60%, it would have been probably there. So Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit below average. Um, and like obviously there are much harder benchmarks, but this is fine. Apparently I have one more of these, but I think I'm going to skip it. I'm going to just go to the tracking. I expect this will be about where it was. Maybe like 50. I do want to get back to like metronome training because I think that that's going to be the way that I'm going to see like really rapid progression in my aim. And I think that I think that honestly, like obviously, when I die, a lot of times I'm just simply out of position, right? Like my game sense is still not where it needs to be. Um, but at the same time, the number of times where someone just beams me, uh, to an extent where I feel like they're cheating, but they're not. They're just simply like decent at the game, and I'm terrible, is so high that I just want to get my base aim down enough that like the recoil training makes sense. Because right now, yeah, I'm just trying to eliminate things that are kind of easier to train. So if I can get my aim to be cracked, and if I can get not even cracked, but you know what I mean, like appropriate for diamond, right? I just mean like base tracking, right? And if I can get my recoil control, see, like that's totally fine. That's completely adequate. Um, yeah, but I just want to be at a point where like I want to be able to go into like because I don't know if I make appropriate decisions for like a diamond lobby yet. I think the answer is probably not because one of the things that I have difficulty with is knowing when to go back. So for example, like I might overemphasize trying to find a position to heal where say the other person's one and I'm 2 shots and I go to bat and they get 2 shots because I'm sitting still, right? So like it's pretty easy to tell in retrospect that was a bad decision, but getting into the correct mindset to make the correct decision at the time, I think is still tough for me. And I just don't know if it's like if I just need to because the thing is like I watch a lot of like very good people, and the problem with watching pro players sometimes is like it's almost like obviously there are cases where people whiff shots in pro games, right, and in high level ranked, but like their aim is such a non-factor compared to me that it's hard to tell if I'm assuming that I'm worse than the person I'm playing against, does that merit being more cautious or not, right? And I'm not sure what the answer to that is. That 56 is real nice. Today is a good day, kind of regardless of what happens. Because I'm already spaghetti again already. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't know if, because the thing is like I can go into something confident and then just completely get wasted. And it's not even by like a Devo or something, it's by like a 301, which like, I don't understand how someone hits like 10 shots in a row with a 301. Like I just can't do it, right? And that's a problem. Because I can do it in the firing range. You know, in the firing range, I can one clip a dummy from an appreciable distance, but in a real game, I can't. So trying to, like, I kind of understand that to some extent. This is why people smurf. They intentionally put themselves under like lower pressure situations where they can work on things. I'm trying to not do that though, because I don't think it's really cool. I think if I'm putting myself under challenging circumstances and I'm failing and then I'm naturally falling to those like lobbies, like for example only playing with a wingman in arenas, like on the one hand like I'm kind of throwing in terms of like my teammates being able to win, but it's like I don't know what real better option I have in terms of improving my skill and being able to not throw later when I play in something like ranked, you know? Like you can solo queue in like 100% solo in BR, but you can't do that in arenas because it wouldn't make sense. But the problem is that the conditions for Battle Royale are just a little too varied for it to feel like meaningful practice, especially dropping solo if you're not already moderately skilled. I think a lot of the advice that people get where they're like, yeah, just drop solo in duos or drop solo in a normal match, and it's just like, well, I guess technically if you do that enough times and you just die off drop like 100 times, you will end up in lobbies with people who literally don't know how to play the game, and maybe you'll start winning like 2v1s or whatever, and like in principle if you keep up that pattern of like just playing like absolute garbage until you play like at a moderate level, I guess it technically can work itself out if you were trying to use that as training, but it seems like you would not learn. You would eventually learn how to get decent at fighting, but it would be really inefficient because your lobby quality and your setup for fights would be like so poorly controlled, and then you'd have absolutely none of the skills for like rotation or anything like that, right? As opposed to doing your training in something like arenas and then trying to actually play to win in Battle Royale in ranked, or just simply playing with a heavy emphasis on fights with a 3-stack in ER, because like I don't think that like playing for placement is necessarily like the solution for everyone. Like obviously you need to know how to third party, how to take fights, yada yada yada, but I think that getting there for BR without like a team that you're consistently playing with, it's tough, and without some sort of like high level comms, and like personally I'm not going to play with any sort of comms until I'm like breaking into diamond if I can avoid it, just because like one, I want to be good enough at like kind of communicating what I'm doing in general, and like not super crazy relying on other people, but the other thing is just that like my expectation is that the number of people who are just like absurdly comically atrocious is going to be lower at higher ranks. And at least if I'm wrong, that the degree to which I care will be lower. Alright, this one's hard. This is one that I need to slow down normally. So I don't know how I feel about jumping straight in, but we're going to do it. Oh god. This is a great example of something where I think probably focusing on the crosshair too much is detrimental, but I am not ready for that. Because this exercise intimidates the hell out of me. It doesn't even look hard because it's not. I'm just bad. It's wild how little control I have over the dexterity of my hands. So I'm still kind of curious what teams took away from the ALGS LAN, because while I do know that like Scars was in a terrible position because they didn't have Mandy, like by the end of the first day, holy shit. Is that a high score? Holy shit. Let's go. Holy shit. I might just be done. Jesus Christ. That was huge. That was huge for me. I'm gonna go ahead and put those PBs in. Because I don't know if we're gonna beat that.
So this is
the Pasu exercise. So it's Pasu track Invincible V2.
so Pasu track Invincible V2. I think that was 4068.
And then we got a PB in
Popcorn.
one, right? So let's see, what is that guy called? Bounce 180 tracking.
Bounce 180 tracking. We hit a 56.
Yeah, which is also a big PB.
So and that's a PB for Pasu and modest PB for the bounce 180. No PB for clicking exercises. So we were still at near peak levels.
So probably a PB in the next few days for the tracking stuff, which is, or not the tracking, the click timing stuff, depending on how we train it. So this was a great session. We're what, 20 minutes in? I might call it. I don't know if I want to kind of push too hard on the tracking stuff. That's like I said, that's a big PB for me. See if we can see the stats. Well, yeah, of course they're none from the last 7 days. Last month is not helpful. Recent is not meaningful. Week is not really meaningful. Why is week? Oh, whatever. It's totally the wrong stat. This is nearly double the score that I started with, which is fantastic. My sense is a bit lower. My sense has been about the same since mid-January, though. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Cause like again, like I'm not really training this. I'm just hit this like once since like March. I was training fairly consistently in January and most of February, but pretty much not at all in March or April. We're not looking at 8,000s ever, but if we hit even 5,000, that would be incredible. So let's check the benchmark sheets and see where that puts us at, because I did not expect to be in a place of progress, but like I said, here we are. So I have the benchmarks open for Tomas's aim training, and we got so bounce Sparky. We need a 55, so I think we're still a while off of that. Yeah, 51. We're a while off of that. That's a big PB. That's like, let's say at least 2 weeks of dedicated aim training away, but maybe, because I think we could hit like a 52 or a 53 in the next couple days, but like a 10% improvement is no joke, right? Like, just being realistic, even if there are people hitting 95s, like 55 is going to be a little tough, but I think we can get there. 65 is going to be a whole other ordeal though, but maybe 55 by my birthday. So tracking, we hit our 56, which is the bottom of sub intermediate, which is sick. That's like super cool to see. That is a 74th percentile score. That is like legitimately decent, and 4600 is well within the sub intermediate category as well. So we really need to get that click timing up. I think probably when I'm not aim training, playing a round or two of arenas with the wingman with the P2020 is going to help with this. Even though those are still realistically kind of tracking things just because of the time to kill in Apex, I think it'll still help. Eventually, I'd also like to learn how to use snipers with Apex properly. Probably even before shotguns, even though shotguns are more useful, just because I like the idea of playing snipers. I understand that it's kind of a crutch for a lot of people who are beginners. Like I absolutely abused snipers at the beginning of my kind of like very early career with arenas. Um, but if you do enough damage and you're not dying, it's not necessarily a problem. The problem just becomes like, are you trading positive enough, and are you storing enough resources or taking resources from the field in some way where like, you know, and also like having a secondary such that you're not just going to get fried the second that the ring starts to close or something, you know. But in a real game though, in like King's Canyon, like I think getting better with a charge rifle is basically free if you get better tracking, so I'm not going to like train that specifically, but getting better with like a sentinel or a longbow because you can craft them, like, oof, that would be so nice. It's not worth training the Kraber, you know, like it's so rare, and like I don't go for color packages. I'll just pretend it's the sentinel if I pick one up, you know. But either sentinel or longbow next, just not mastering it, but just getting okay. Sentinel is kind of okay. Longbow I just don't get. I don't really have a good sense of the bullet travel time. But yeah, probably wingman and sentinel. P2020 in arenas until I get a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more with the what's it called? The triple take too. But we'll see. I think so the benchmarks that they give for advanced are still like dreams away. So that's 80 for the bounce tracking, 85 for the click exercise, and 6200 for the Pasu track. I think those are still a very long way away. If we hit those this year, that would be incredible. But I think if we can get solidly into the upper intermediate category, then like aim is going to be so much less of a factor that like things like those precise recoil controls and like just better game sense are going to carry me really far, because I think it's going to be a lot harder to hit platinum solo queue this next round. So I'm gonna open up Apex and I'll do just a little bit of firing range while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think this is a good sign though that even with pretty minimal play, just literally good sleep is enough to make a decent performance impact. I think if I can stay healthy, not stress too much, just get in a little bit each day for the aim training, and like a little bit of firing range, a little bit of arenas, just a little bit every day. Then by the time that it gets to be summer, I'll be oh, I forgot to update OBS. I'm just talking into a black wall. Oh yeah, the reason I was talking about performance is that that's part of the reason why I wasn't streaming, but it's also the reason why I gave up on the VC face that I have set up. I would like to try that out. I would like to, like, PNG tube or whatever, have like a cute little avatar me. Just because I want to be able to have like a personable stream once I learn how to not be toxic, but we'll see. Let me just make sure that nothing popped up on YouTube, but yeah, no comments, makes sense. All right. So I'm not going to set an explicit timer, but it's 5:30 now here. So yeah, so what I was talking about earlier with like one clipping, like, all right, so this is the standard R301, right, with no attachments.
Alright, so that's not far, right? So now we stand back one more panel. So let's see. So each panel is about 2 meters. Alright, because again, I know that the recoil on this gun is really nice, but 17 meters. That's pretty close for an arenas match, though. But even still, that's still a 1 clip from 20 meters, right? So the problem is, like, with people moving, or with myself moving, like, obviously those numbers are lower. Like that, for example. But even still, the dummy's wearing red armor, right? And maybe a helmet or no helmet, I can't tell. But, like, the problem here is that I move just a little bit and that number gets really inconsistent. Like, the crosshair placement is just too precise for me from back here. So I saw some good advice for in-game tracking. So we're going to try with the alternator just because, like, the magazine size and fire rate is, like, pretty forgiving. So I'm going to start with a gold mag because it's, again, forgiving, right? That you just want to... it's about, like, how much to ADS while tracking. Oh god, that's hard. How do controller players do that? What is the ADS button? It was about how you can, like, swap between ADS and not. I don't know if that's gonna work for me. Honestly, though, with an alternator, the penalty for ADSing is, like, pretty small. Oh god, even with a gold clip I can't do that. Alright. Alright, so I'm just gonna start super close. Okay. So the problem is that super close you also have to rotate pretty fast. So I'm not sure how much easier it is. Okay. Sorry, that's 3 meters, okay. Okay, so that was not like a proper 1 clip. Sorry, I can't see the distance indicator. Why can't I see the 7 meters, 5 meters? No, 4 meters, okay. Yeah, the alternator's really forgiving, but... yeah. Okay, 5 meters. That's close to a real 1 clip. It's not hitting every bullet, but... okay, so then, like a strafe pattern. Not good. Like, my ability to hip fire the R301 is also pretty bad. So the idea is that, like, when you switch from hip fire to regular, to ADS, you get this, like, tightening. Oh god, my performance just dipped. So like while your movement speed does change, in principle, I guess that also kind of like fucks with your strafe in a way that might make you less predictable because you're not moving at a constant speed. Crouching also helps with the spray pattern for hip firing. So I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, obviously, you know, you're not a moving target, and if someone's on controller, that's going to be very easy for them to hit. But yeah, when I'm moving around too much, like, I cannot track anymore at all. So straight line tracking, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's not even a 1 clip. Yeah, it's like, ironically, the spray on the R301 is almost like too small. Like, I can't miss. It's too precise for me. And then let's take a RE45 really quick, and then same thing. This shoots pretty fast, so I don't know if this is going to be better or worse. Worse, yeah, it shoots too fast for me. The penalty for ADSing a handgun though is really low though, so maybe I should just... Ooh, geez, that's bad. But since the recoil is so limited and you have a... Yeah, maybe you just go for the headshots. Like aim for the upper chest or something. Yeah, I'm barely cracking them up close. So like... Yeah, like... Without, I understand why people really don't like this gun without the hammer point, without like an extended mag of some kind. Where's the hammer point? I'm so blind. There we go. So like with a hammer point, this should be pretty brutal. Yeah, but the problem is that you spend so much time cracking the shield. Well, you do if you're me. Oops. Yeah, so I'm not even gonna turn the dummies on, but I think we're good 5 minutes in. We'll change gun types, but surprised that Scout of Action thing is still open. So like, I think there's actually spread on the wingman if you don't have I think I need to turn on bullet marks to be able to see it. Yeah, so let me just make sure I'm not moving my mouse, but yeah, so this is at 3 meters. So ADS, or not ADS rather, let's try 10 meters. It's modest. It's definitely real. Okay, that's actually kind of bad. Like one of these is way out over here, which would mean that hip firing, like obviously I'm not super on target, but like it's absolutely possible to mess that up because you're hip firing when you shouldn't be. So let's... I don't actually like the DT, but... And then let me just double check that this doesn't spread when you're... Okay, so I think the problem is that it does spread because you have to wait for it to come back down. But it does fall down to within the range of where the head is if you wait for it, so it's not too bad, but... The problem is that my reaction time for watching the cursor fall back is like not good enough. See, those were all body shots even though I was aiming for heads. I kind of wish that the wingman did 50 and 100. So I had someone come up to me in a game recently, and they just... See, I don't even understand how they got me down so quickly, because it only took them 3 wingman shots. So they hit like a head, and then 2 body, maybe? But from this range, they just... it felt like they fired faster than that, though. The reason this was weird is that this was round 1 in arenas, so I don't even think that you get a... what's it called? A scope. I think it's literally just iron sights. So from about this range, they... Yeah, no, I mean, it must have been 2 headshots. Because if you do head, body, body... Well, they're also... You're on lighter armor, so maybe that's why. Even still, it's pretty tough. I was batting, so like I was of course a still target, but it's still pretty obnoxious to be just downed instantly by a wingman, because the wingman can feel like pretty unforgiving. If someone's got a boosted loader. So that... Yeah, that was the dummy. That wasn't even the fucking guy I was aiming at. Yeah, so with a not moving target, like, yeah, this is not so bad. But even with this moving guy, it's kind of bad. The big ring around the thing for the crosshair is kind of obnoxious. See, I don't even know how I hit that. Okay. I am getting better with stuff like the Prowler. If I haven't been using the Prowler, I've been using more the Hemlock in arenas. And the iron sights for the Hemlock are actually like kind of good, even though they're kind of blocky. Because like the fire rate's pretty high. So even if you only hit like one of the bullets, it's like what, 20 or whatever. If you're really good and you hit all headshots, you know, just 3 taps. But if you're not, even if you're like clipping somebody, like if you hit like 2 or 3 in a couple sprays, like closer to that's closer to like my real life accuracy. Obviously they'd be moving, so it'd be a little bit worse. Because like I'm also like not pulling down enough when I'm shooting. But ignoring that, like I think that yeah, it's pretty nice. And like I can see how the Prowler feels pretty similar, but just has more spread. I know I have a gold mag, but ooh, jeez. Yeah. It's definitely better. I have not been playing with the repeater much. Maybe I should. Maybe the repeater is like baby's first wingman. But the problem is that my iron sights are so huge. I don't know if I need to like maybe switch to the default ones, or maybe get like a pay to win one or something. But these are so big. It's so frustrating. And like Yeah, I don't know. I miss a lot of shots with the 30-30. But yeah, the R301 is just insanely forgiving. Like, the alternator seems like it should be, but it really isn't, which I don't totally get. Oh, this is a Devo. Actually, single fire with the Devo, that hit for 16, if you're just, like, poking at somebody... I mean, what is an R301 hit for? Like 16 or something? It has, like, 0 bullet drop. Like, 0 bullet drop. It's absolutely fucked up. Because energy weapon, like... Wait. I'm confused. Let me wait for it to flip over. Yeah, no, it's, like, perfect. There's, like, sway because I don't have a barrel stabilizer. 1 second, let me, not barrel stabilizer. Though I do have that. I mean, I'm talking about the stock, yeah. So you get a stock, right, with a 4X? Like, 28ths. Like, consistently at, like, 57 meters. Let's see. Like, bullet drop is just not really a thing with this. I don't know what distance it stops registering headshots at. So, like, I don't know that I'd necessarily hit, like, a 28. But the 16 is, like, consistent, you know? Like plus or minus, like, minor sway. Okay, so this does have bullet drop on the range of, like, 600 meters or something. The bullet should just shoot, right? I can't even see where the bullet's going. I feel like that's just about it, though. That's just a little high. Yeah, so at 400 meters, you just have to aim slightly up. Okay, so if the crosshair is center of the target, it's pretty close to hitting. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. The bullet drop is like the 50-meter mark on a normal gun. So something like this, there's just effectively no bullet drop at, what's that, like 100? Yeah, like 100 meters, like, there's just not bullet drop. And the shot's almost instantaneous, so it might as well be hit scan. Like, the Devo at range is, like, a very weak sniper. The big downside is that it, the second that you pull the trigger for more than, like, a second, it does start to spin out of control. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. It shows you the range. Yeah, the hip fire on the 30-30 is also kind of bad. Which I guess that's why shatter caps are a thing. So the movement speed on the ADS is pretty atrocious too. I'm not sure if the 3X is the way or not. I feel like it is, but I feel like the 2x4 is just too hard to use. See, this has appreciable bullet drop, even just over this tiny distance. What's this? 130? And also bullet travel problems. So I don't know, man. Whereas this guy is just like, oh, reload. Instantaneous. Yeah, at range, I don't know. I don't know about the Devo, because, like, up close, though, that's horrific. It's a really short time to kill. Let me get, like, a more realistic scope. I'm out of energy ammo. Yeah, by the end, it's pretty bad. It's, like, kind of okay. The other thing is, like, the Havoc is still just... The spin up is just trash before you... What is happening on the gun? Okay, it literally spins. Yeah. Without a turbo on the Havoc, it's really hard to justify picking up. Because even with the turbo, it feels like there's lag. Like, the spread is pretty bad, honestly. It's not... Yeah, the bullets, like, literally curve, right? So... Let's take this off. Yeah, I think... The trade-off between, the fire rate and the, recoil is, like, kind of hard to control for me. Because I don't know the recoil pattern at all. I'm just praying and hoping. So, like, at this range... I don't have a gold mag, but I do have a turbo. Yeah, I'm like a moving target. There's just no shot. I just don't know how to wiggle to get it under control. It's getting better, but it's hard to tell. Crosshair is pretty centered, so I don't know what's up with that. The triple take is not supposed to have bullet drop, but it has this weird thing where it has, like, appreciable bullet lag, even though the bullet velocity is high. And the spread is huge with the choke, with, like, the not ADS. So that's the same thing. And then ADS, choke enabled. Choke disabled ADS. Ew. I'm sorry, what's the difference? Okay, let's shoot some distance. So this is choke enabled. Thought I hit B. I hit N apparently. And choke disabled. I don't totally understand. With the Peacekeeper, there's a very obvious difference. Come on. Okay, yeah, there's a difference. But over long distances... Wait, no, is there? Okay, we want choke enabled first. Come on. Okay, choke enabled, we're gonna shoot here, here, and then we're gonna go choke disabled in the center. Okay. This is only one bullet. you go choke enabled... Oh, you have to wait. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's why it's a sniper. Okay, I'm an idiot. That's how people hit me for so much. Like, it just comes down to like patience. You can wait like 10 seconds. You can get a headshot at this range. And even if you miss the headshot, if you aim a little bit low, like chest height, like here, you're gonna do massive damage. You're still gonna hit for like 40 if you're shooting fast, so. Yeah, triple take's kind of fucked up. I get it now. So you have to be patient. Okay. Yep, makes sense. We're not gonna practice bow check. That was like a half an hour, and I planned to do like 10 minutes. But it's the same thing with this gun, where even though there's no choke, there's a wind up before you get to hit for hundreds. As opposed to where's the yeah, it's pretty messed up. Alright, and then the L-Star, I don't think I want to practice at any point. It's like... as I miss all my shots with it. The thing is that it feels really nice. Even if I'm missing shots with it, I like how it feels. Maybe I should just play some arenas games with it. I feel like the bullets are slow, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because the bullet timing is different, it feels slow. But I feel like you can literally dodge L-Star bullets. Like, you can see them in the air. The speed at which it's traveling seems not to be slow, though. It just seems like totally uncontrollable at range. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, there's something about it that I just don't get. The spread's a little bit too big for hipfire, but it's whatever. It's 6 o'clock. I'll play like one arenas game and then I'll be done. Because I should probably actually do some work. Yeah. I have to go to sleep pretty early tonight. I should be in Oregon. Oops. I thought this looked familiar. This is kind of funny. Oh, well, I'll fix that later. Skype. I swear I know this person. Oh well. Oh, right, this is ranked. Alright, yeah, so we'll see what goes wrong with this. Do you want to go that way? So I don't love going portal side if the ring is not portal side, because then you are walking up into the where the enemy is. I need to turn off my music. Oh, there they are. Oh shit, oh shit. Whoop. Fuck me. Fuck me, dude. I'm gonna go this way. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Jesus. Help? Jesus Christ, man. Is he even trying? Christ, man. I barely lost. Like, I nearly lost my shit there. That was not fun. And I have no resources. Alright, well. That was real cool. We need to watch the Wraith. Then heal? Never mind. Fuck it. Jesus Christ. Ah, then heal. Oops. Okay. Fuck me. Alright, well that was fun. Only fun because we won, but like, man, like, way to almost throw, dude. Like, because the guy doesn't buy bats. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is what bronze gameplay looks like. Part of it is me missing shots. I didn't get super out of position in this round, but I did maybe in the first round. It's like, what am I going to do? 960 AP. Climbed up from 0. Great game. Alright, time to get off.